Okay, this dude is looking a lot like Harvey Weinstein more so than what I can like overlook, and it's because I seen Michael Eric Dyson give an interview about the shape of the Earth, and his head was pear shaped. Um, R. Kelly's in the audience at this um, Aretha Franklin funeral. The podium is old, was used for another purpose. It says, "One Lord, one faith, one baptism." If that's not the church logo, then they just are being frugal. And R. Kelly is like still in trouble and shit. Like, what the?
Yeah, he's in trouble because he has he was keeping um, underage women, and I think locked away in like a some kind of compound or something. He was getting fucked in the ass by men, and he liked this chick to watch him. And yeah, all kind of crazy shit. She explained a lot of weird shit. He specifically was like preparing her to be like a person who watches him, and then he even fucks himself. Like, but some of those girls were missing and shit. Like, he should be interrogated. He uses coercive methods, tactics. He's a coercive dickhead, and he's at the Aretha Franklin funeral. It's just interesting. He was all looking up, like he looked like he was trying to have a face of like paying homage and being inspired, but and he just looked like confused, like he was just confused look on his face. And
then he got the nerve to say he gonna grab it.
grab what?
That ain't what Aretha Franklin said. I'ma give you something you can feel.
Beta.
He said it like a girl. He tried to say
Like
it
the brothers in the
like
street
Medea.
say, tap.
He's like, I'm gonna give you something you could. He tried to say it like a woman. I don't care if I can't do that impersonation. Like, it's, I'm not really supposed to do an impersonation off the top of just anybody like that, but he was. Like, it was a Medea moment, as disingenuous as that is, because it just doesn't sound right coming from a man. Like, those are female song lyrics. Men don't usually sing female song lyrics unless it's a Medea moment, and I guess there's nothing wrong with that. But this is going into a political tirade. Everything is just like so anything goes, and he's just blasé and disrespectful and arrogant, Oh, I called him a beta for that. Because he was being beta. He was impersonating female song lyrics. He was saying, "I'm gonna give you something you could feel," as if he doesn't have a dick. Like, there's a funny thing too. Never mind. I'll come back to
that. Deceit and deviance. You lethal liar. You dim-witted dictator. You foolish fascist. She ain't worked for you. She worked above you. She worked beyond you. Get your preposition right.
I remembered what I was trying to remember. There was a clip of a woman that had, she was saying that she wished that she could, she wishes that she could make men feel like she was felt when she was raped. And like, I don't believe this woman. It's very strange. It's very odd. And that was different. That wasn't the. There was another woman that was like, all men are pigs, but this is saying, like, that you should get raped, and you know, what am I supposed to offer to that? Like, and what am I supposed to say about that? Like, is she? I don't even know if I don't even know if she's real. And he's going on about dictator. Whatever. I don't want to hear it again.
And then this orange apparition had the nerve to say she worked for him. You
Well, her job is not the issue at a funeral. Like, the importance of...
You dopey doppelganger of deceit and deep...
Wow. President Hillary Clinton's job being that when Trump is around, it's kind of hard for her to be Christian. It's difficult for her to be Christian. Like, it's not the issue. It's a funeral. You know? It's time for final regards and final deposition. Final deposition. He said, get your preposition. You better get your preposition. When they start talking like that, the corporatists, they're like being pervy. Like, to me, that's weird. Like, they won't, like, there's something going on and they won't address it, and it's plain, and somebody can address the simplest of terms that they're on, and they're like, no.
Scared to say they black. Scared to show up at a two-black place. That's why some black folk ain't here today. They sending letters. They don't want to get up in this blackness. They don't want to feel the nasty power of this blackness. We are black in Detroit. We don't care. Take your shoes off. Dip it in the water. Get baptized.
Okay, first of all, that was just... What the fuck was that? What the hell was that? Get baptized. Get baptized. Get baptized. Not to mention that you just said you don't want to get up in this or feel the something nasty. What? Nasty blackness. Jesus Christ, man. It's like, I don't know what the fuck to offer. I don't know what to fucking say about that.
Transition Farah Jasmine Griffin, the professor at Columbia, said she was doing work even after she died. When she made her transition, convictions came down. Immunity pleas were made. Folk got sent to jail. Even as an ancestor, she doing.
He says she doing work. She putting in work. As an ancestor, she's putting in work against Donald Trump. She's Metatron. You know.
That's not Michael Eric Dyson. That's Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein.
This guy is not the Michael Eric Dyson anymore. Like, what the fuck?
Michael Eric Dyson is kind of mopey. He's like, kind of like.
Remember what Michael Eric Dyson looks like?
Low energy. Like, this guy was high energy.
Like Harvey Weinstein?
This is a high energy. What's his name? Weinstein, or what's his other name? The other guy. I can't remember the name of the biggest director in Hollywood. It kind of looks like that. Like, he looks like a splice of Harvey Weinstein and Michael Eric Dyson, because I think all these celebrities are all been cloned, or they're all being kept in the closet like shirts, you know, like there's like 4 or 5 pantsuits.
Great cream, y'all. Great.
Immunity pleas were made. Folk got sent to jail. Even as an ancestor, she doing work. She moved from being the queen of soul to the queen of souls. She is indeed looking over us as our ancestor, never forgetting that she will walk with us. I had to go the other day from...
Okay. This guy is insane, because he already said that she's doing work, like she'll walk with us. You mean like in the direction of like impeach Trump? I swear to God, they're like they might say something like that, and it might sound benign, you know. Walk with us for like, I don't, you know, if you think that they mean walk with you, like as far as memory, like the memory, right? That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about impeach President Donald Trump. And
never one like her before.
Watch this part.
Great
this,
y'all.
Have to play this over again.
Great cream.
And so, don't you sully the memory of our great queen. Aretha Franklin was an original. Never one like her before.
Okay, so you know how there has to be a mark for there to be a psycho? Like, psychopaths can't exist without a mark. Well, like somebody that this man is referring to sullying the memory of Aretha Franklin, it wouldn't be because he's not at the party that you threw for Aretha Franklin's funeral, a Trump roast. It wouldn't be because he didn't show up to the party that he wasn't invited to, you know. That don't you sully, because You know, Trump is banging down the door of that funeral right now and can't wait to just get on television and say things that are going to resonate with people, and unwittingly, unbeknowingly to these people, they just eat it up and absorb the fake news, and you know, that's really pushing it. That's just really weird. Fucking weird. It's just weird.
To Bishop Ellis and Reverend Smith, to President Clinton and her husband Bill,
That's beta. They furry butt plugs. She inserts a furry butt plug in her husband's ass. You know, this beta. They're into the furry porn. No, not really. And that was just wrong. Like, um, that dude is a fucking asshole. You know, he thinks you're all stupid. He thinks I'm stupid. It doesn't matter. He thinks um, everybody's stupid. He just talked to everybody like they were just incorrigibles. Like that was just really condescending on levels that he's not even aware of, because um, he's just a, what did like Danny Darko say? He's like, you're a fuck ass. Like, that's all. I don't even know what to say to you. You're a fuck ass. Ugh, what a fucking horrible experience, except for the fact that like they gotta, like, now they gotta censor themselves. They're doing so to the extent that they censor themselves, you know. Damn it, man. Like, it's just amazing that people still fall asleep with the TV on. They still fall asleep with the television on to the news. You know, I would rather let the TV stay on something scary, like horror channel, B horror channels. Shit, like the B movies are even scarier when you're asleep, because they have like cannibalism and shit like that. You know, that they're some of the crappy. I mean, you wake up for a minute and you see this place, and later on in life you think you see building like looks like that and shit, and it's like, ugh, ugh. You know, they even fucked up Blue House for me. I fell asleep one time. Horror movies on. There's some cannibalism going on, some weird like society, creepy academic society or something, and there was like feeding people to people at a luau. I don't even know. There's just a lot of bad B movies, and some of them, it's like, this shit is actually fucking scary, and I don't understand why. Like, but it's like, I mean, it's just so freaking. I'm not talking about like the silly ones, like movie theater, you know, hacking teenagers or at a movie theater or something. Like, it's like the ones where people like a Airbnb or something, like, and they want to take a month-long vacation or some shit like that, and or the one with the oh, that one actually wasn't scary as it was just good. There was this weird B movie that was just really good. It was off the hook. It's a these people run a marathon race, and they start in one city and they end in another city, and they ran through the desert, and they ran into some bikers, some bad bikers, and accidentally like killed one of them in a altercation, and then they were being chased all the way to the city, and then only one of them made it alive. But he was like MacGyver, and he was like getting them all fucked up. He had, you know, some training. You know, he's like a Poindexter, but he was a Rambo on the under, and he first blood. He Rambo first blood styled him, but he was the last person to make it to the finish line, and everybody was waiting, and he was like, they were like, what? Where's everybody else? And that was a freaking. You don't even need a lot of money to make a good movie, but I'm talking about fucking movies. I wish they would, the mainstream media, corporatists, Hollywood, oligarchy would make a good movie, but they won't be able to until they're by the wayside. Like I don't know if it'll happen or if it won't, but the reason that they don't make good movies is because of them. You know, they have to leave out the important tidbits in the content, and they have to walk around eggshells and on every venture, on every filming venture. It's like every last facet of society is being constricted. You know, people in your family don't do the things that they do in their family anymore because they think it's bad. Like they think that it's fondue, and you know, probably because they don't want to shake a buster. They want to bring a buster that is poison into the function, and so they decided to stay with the buster and let him isolate them, you know, and even make them feel guilty for taking care of them when they're in the hospital, type of thing, you know. And it's kind of been the transitory spookism that's in my family, on one side, obviously, of my family. I don't want to indicate whether or not that's like favorable or whatever. Everybody has their incongruities, you know.